Hey, welcome back. Another day, another vlog. Great to have you back here today. Hope you're all well on this Tuesday, 31st of March, end of March. Very happy to see the back end of March. I'm sure a lot of people are. A lot of people being stuck in their homes or other places for well over 2 to 3, 4 weeks up to. So yeah, hopefully you're somewhere where it's not too boring and you can get a bit of stuff done. So myself, you would have noticed I whacked up a bonus video this week. I went through the new bag which arrived and did a what's in my gear bag, which I guess you've probably seen 1,000 of them already this year in 2020, but I hadn't done one and I've adjusted what I've changed, and I really wanted to show you the bag, so you can go check that out as well. That's on my gear testing playlist and another one as well. But definitely over there, go check that out. What's in my newer bag, and it is an exceptional bag. I'm super stoked about it. Going to be using a lot more. So much easier to use, and for under $100, you'd be crazy if you didn't go check it out, because it's probably going to have all the stuff you need at probably a $700 comparable price, or at least over $500 to get something near what this covers. So definitely worth checking out. Go check the video out and see what other gear I've got in my daily carry stuff. So yeah, I'm getting a little bit better. I'm a bit more organised in what I need to take. I know what I need. If I've got a plan in place of what I want to do, I know what I've got to carry, what I need to do that, and I might take a backup plan, a plan B, which we always need, a different lens of some sort. Generally, that's my 50mm Super Takumar. I'll take that with me no matter what, just in case I just want that little funky feel to something, and that always gives me that amazing picture. So, yeah. Now, don't forget to Teespring. If you need a new coffee mug for winter coming up, hot cocoa, hot chocolate, all that, nice little Tiger Media mug. There's plenty of hoodies and stuff over there to keep you warm during the winter season. Hook a brother up, go check it out. The link's down below, you'll be able to see that. I think if you're in the States, it might be still valid at the current present. There's 10% off. I'm assuming I'll check tomorrow for April to see what the April deal is. There might be a new deal. Hopefully we can suss something out. Rightio. Yes, obviously it's all COVID. We'll get rid of that first, and then we'll talk about some other things, some pretty cool stuff. Okay, WA, on the WA side, I live in Western Australia in Perth. On the WA side, obviously there's been some assistant packages for people and business announced today. What was interesting is there's a $2,500 basically payment of your energy bills. I think that's electricity and gas. You basically are like the government's going to pay $2,500 worth of credit towards your power or gas bills. I'm not sure which one or either. It's basically guess easier for them to do that than to pay cash, and because it's at whatever level it is he talked about. So I thought that was pretty good. If you are a small business, bills never stop coming, like all of us, no matter what you are, and small business tend to not have as much petty cash laying around to keep paying bills. So yeah, it's really good if you can button a few of those up, and that'll leave you some cash in your till to pay for the necessities that you need at the moment. So good to see that even the separate states are doing things to suit their individual needs, which is good. Now don't forget, as of tonight at midnight, that's when the full Aussie lockdown happens. So that's when we go to a two-person only, unless if you've got your kids with you, so we can walk Bentley the dog and Jack, and there's two of us and Jack and the dog, and we can do that daily once exercise walk for the day. That's about it, and that's it from tomorrow. So the last day, I guess today's if you're an Australian, depending on what state you are, today's, I guess, your last day of normal life for however long. So, and that's And that's the next thing I did want to talk about with the COVID. It's, I don't know about you, but with the internet and basically globally this is happening to everyone. So everyone, we've got 55 million different variations of what's happening, how to fix it, what the stats are the only thing that seem consistent, and they consistently say that it's only, no, there's a wrong way to look at it, only killing 1% of the population. Unfortunately, if you put that up against alcohol, drugs, cigarettes and tobacco, and probably other stuff, car accidents and bits and pieces, it's probably nowhere near it. So it's a bit weird. So I think globally, if looking back, and we all say, I guess hindsight's an amazing thing, but looking back, I think in such a thing as a pandemic, I think the World Health Authority should come in and take control of all medical worldwide in all countries that are obviously part of the World Health Organization. So you get one clear message, one defined attack method, because everyone's doing everything, and then we're doing one thing, but then other people are doing another thing. Yesterday we talked about how Italy had completely stuffed up their figures, so it wasn't 10% dying, it was actually only 1%, because they were just putting down anyone that died if they had COVID-19 in their system. Well, then they put it down to that's how they died, even though they might have died of a heart attack, a car accident, mass murder or whatever. It was still COVID-19, so it's just the figures are they stuffed up the figures completely there. So it's actually around about the 1.4%, 1.5%, which is very similar to the States and most other countries that have been affected heavily. So it seems to be about the 1 to 1.5%, which is the guys that are the victims, and they're obviously those families, it's 100% to them. So I do feel for them. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's just more we need to get a clear, defined message, and we just get one. You only got to go to 3 different channels to get 3 totally different stories. Exactly like 3 different, 45 million different, what are we doing for this tax and this and this and this with all these benefits and all this. It's very confusing. I think that's something the governments can work on, I guess, after this is all over and done with, is to work out an attack plan and put something into place where we get a defined message, one message to everyone, and that. Now we've got a global economy. Everything on no one. I don't even go to the shops. I don't know why people would go to the shops. I have this argument every day with my wife. She says she needs to see and touch and try something to do it. I don't really care. I just buy stuff if I need it. I know my size, so I have no need for shops. So everything's on the internet. It's cheaper on the internet. It's a global economy, yet every country's totally different, and in each country, every state's totally different, and everyone's got totally different rules. So it just does not work. You can't have a global economy, one economy, or global economy where everything's floating around when everyone's doing their own thing. So that's, And the same thing, then you get in something like this, and then it's all changing, because the New York saying that we don't care about the crisis, we're not shutting New York down because that's the financial centre of America. So I think that's the biggest thing, is the information control has been terrible. And that's, I think, led to a lot of the hoarding and stuff like that early on, because it was just misinformation. It was poorly attacked from that perspective. Anyway, that's my COVID-19 say of the day. I don't know. Let me know what you think. What do you reckon we could have done better, or how is that am I on the right mark, I guess? Anyway. Rightio, now let's look at some good stuff. There's a couple of releases. Now AMD, we all know, kicked Intel's ass to the curb last year with all their processors, absolutely dominating the sector. Intel basically made to look like fools, and they run back to mobile device chips to try and save their ass. Yeah, so AMD clear winners in the processing market last year in the big boys. They did a fantastic job, and they've come out this year with their mobile range. Obviously, we've talked a little bit about the AMD Ryzen 9 4900HS processor. The first laptop with that in it has come out. It's in the Asus Zephyus G14. And the boys over at Linus Tech Tips, shout out those boys, they do a fantastic job of reviews and stuff. It must be so much fun working there. I'd love to just go and visit the place one day. It'd be very, very cool. But they put it up against the Zenbook Pro 19. So if you haven't seen that, that is, we've talked about it before. So that's the big 19-inch laptop. It's got the, when you put the display up, the sort of keyboard sort of tilts because it's got like the little footing on the screen, and it's got that X big touch bar. So it's got like basically like two screens. So one screen, and then this big bar. Apple's got the touch bar about this thick, which is pretty much useless to anyone and just a waste of time, but they still don't learn. Zenbook, Asus went and put this monster big thing. You can put your timeline in there and watch videos and everything while something's doing your email up here. So that is a brilliant computer, and it's got all the latest tech. It's got the i9 top of the range Intel chip in it, all the good stuff. I think like a 2080 graphics card or something ridiculous. Now this little 14-inch Ryzen powered AMD beast kicked it to the friggin' curb. I mean, it smashed it in pretty much every category. They put it on all the tests, and just like this tiny little laptop just absolutely smoked this top of the range creator laptop to the thing. So they then put it up against the ultimate laptop, the Helios 700, which is just this beam off of a friggin' laptop, which the whole keyboard slides back with these two massive fans, so it can just pump air into it while you're gaming at full noise with basically the most powerful setup you can get in a laptop. That didn't beat it. It was on par with this little 14-inch laptop with this Asus 9 in there. So 2020, as much as 2020 is going to be a year of Canon, on the processor front, I think AMD is just going to absolutely finish off Intel. Intel, I'd say they'd already be looking at 2021 after seeing the results of this test. They need to find an ace up their sleeve. I don't know what they're going to do, but if they don't find something by early next year, they're pretty much going to be in a lot of trouble, because AMD is crushing it in a massive, massive way. So yeah, if you are looking for a new laptop and you want something portable that kicks ass, please definitely go check out the Asus Zephyus G14. I'm not sure what sort of quality the rest of it in there, but with this processor, anything that you can now allocate with this processor in it, the AMD Ryzen 9 4900 HS, make sure you get that in there, because it looks like this thing is going to give you a heap of grunt, and you can put it in a smaller form factor without the extra power use and all that stuff. So amazing bit of kit. AMD is just on fire, and yeah, doing great things in the computer market. Now on the Moment app, you know Moment, they do the little filters for your phone and stuff. They do a heap of other stuff as well. They do variable NDs and all that sort of stuff nowadays. Well, they also have got the Moment app. I have it, and it's actually a pretty good app. I've used it many a times. Just opening it up for you. So it looks something like that. There's a double me, that's scary. I've got Jack, that's bad enough. Now they've just done their new update, and in that update is a time-lapse feature. I'd seen it the other day when the update, I had a look at it and I went, oh, you know, that'd be really cool for like some star trails and doing some bits and pieces. I started working out some ideas for a video in my head. Well, I'm only a little guy in a big pond. Matty Hoppy has come out today, and obviously he works a lot with Moment, and they now sponsor him on this side of those things. He did a video on it and talking about it, and he did some great B-roll footage with it, using the motion blur aspect as the main key feature here. So time blur with the motion blur on, he was able to capture on his little one wheel some awesome footage around his hometown when he was going out and getting his exercise, and it looks fantastic. I actually haven't had much of a play in between home stuff and editing and bits. I haven't had much chance to get out and play with stuff. I want to do some bits and pieces to Savo if I can. But yeah, so definitely if you have the Moment app, go check that out. Definitely worthwhile having a look at. I think it's going to give you some options, A, for some B-roll in there, or B, just another way to look at something different. It might just open up your horizons and give you something else to look at. Now, on that front, we're going to talk about competitions, because there is 50 million of them right now. What was this today? Peak Design has one, a photo film competition on the Instagram. Go check that out. Moment has one. Fuji, I think, just Fuji and Moment, I think they just finished up. I didn't win that one. Jared Poland's got some creative challenge stuff comes up. Zdenka Darula has got some creative challenges up on her page. Canon's got some, the Canon Photo 5 series. There's a heap. If you're home and you're a photographer or a filmmaker or just want to learn something new while you're home, and you've got a camera or a phone with a lens or just a phone, and you want to just get out of being bored, go check a heap of them out. Check them on YouTube. Just put in, I guess, photo competition, photo training stuff, I guess, and Google that and just suss that out. There's a heap on there. I said there's Canon's doing it. I know Fuji and Moment were doing it. I think that finished today. Jared Poland's got one. Zdenka Darula's got one. And Peak Design has one. That's the new one today that I noticed. But there's a heap there. So there's a heap to sort of challenge and take you outside of your square and try something new. I've sort of put it to myself, I want to do a bit more macro stuff and play with that and work on my idea of macro landscape photography. So like macro panographs of landscape, if that makes sense. So getting that same landscape feel of a mountain range and all that, but at a macro level. That's my idea, and that's what I'm trying to work on. And if I can get that to where I'm happy with, I'll hopefully make a video on it and go from there. So that's about it. There's heaps and heaps to do to keep you busy. In fact, I don't have enough time in the day to get my normal stuff done, let alone try these other things. But yeah, I guess that's a good thing. The more I'm working and doing stuff, the less time I think about being stuck in a house, like the rest of us. But that's okay, we're healthy, we're safe, and we're looking after those people that just can't look after themselves, and that's the most important part. Yeah, another day, another vlog. Anyway, that's it for Tuesday. Hope you've had a good day. I'll see you all here again on Wednesday for another day, another chat. Let me know what you want to talk about. If there's anything you're keen on learning, understanding, knowing about me or anything, happy to help in whatever way I can. And I'll see you all again tomorrow. Whether you're going that way, or that way. I'll see you soon.